Okay, so without further ado, let's check out Sabaton, the Carolean's Prayer. Official lyric video. Very cool organ intro, totally fitting for that Baroque type sound, 17th century. I'm guessing this is the standard infantryman of the day. You can see the sword there and the flintlock musket. Right off with the banger of a riff, figures. This is cool.
Far beyond their nation's borders, there's an army on the march. And king and glory, in the name of Christ, their enemies chastise, taking orders from the head.
Interesting start there. Very cool verse. I like how they definitely gave a lot of space there for Joachim, letting his vocals shine, letting him tell the story. Really cool. But they also came back in with the guitar right at the very end of that, so they, brought that power. Sabaton does a pretty good job of having a very dynamic sound. Something in metal, a lot of times you don't have that range of kind of low to high volume, or with the instruments fading in or out. It's usually kind of just everything going. And it's interesting that their approach, it lets you appreciate the parts that are heavier even more when they have parts that are pulled back and then they come back in, right? Okay, let's keep going.
Heavens, through hostile fire they will march, unaffected by the volleys. They think that their fate will keep their fear at bay.
Yeah, unaffected by the volleys, so referring to at that time, volley fire, where you'd have the entire rank of soldiers all fire at once. Due to the inaccuracy of the weapons, relying on that high volume of fire, all at once for one, big impact. And this is alluding back to, I believe, what we had read about their high morale and their training and everything, so that they were not, thrown off by these volleys, which, of course, is insane to imagine. If you can think about walking into fire and having someone shoot at you, that's quite terrifying. So definitely a lot of respect for them.
Into battle, facing the fire, Lord, thy will be done.
Yeah, and these religious references reminds me of the title track from this album, Carolus Rex, and he has a line about how he has been chosen by God, to be the ruler of the country and everything. So having that religious aspect and certainly moral fortitude could help you going into enemy fire.
Into battle, walking a line, see the white in their eyes, Caroleans are marching on.
Yeah, of course, referring to seeing the whites in their eyes. Also a reference here in America with the Revolutionary War, famously Battle of Bunker Hill, saying don't fire until you can see the whites of their eyes, meaning hold your fire because, of course, due to the ineffective accuracy of these firearms back then, you wanted to hold your shot until they were so close that you could ensure a hit or a higher probability thereof. I like what Pear is doing with that bass line. He's done this with a couple other songs too, right? My guess is maybe a solo coming up. We'll see. Yeah, really enjoying this song. It's kind of a slower one, but it certainly fits because it has that marching feel, right? It has that cadence of, one, two, it has kind of a slower cadence than a lot of heavy metal songs, but it reinforces that idea of just steadfastly marching forward. So, nice musical taste there. Oh, okay. Was not expecting it to switch into Swedish. I'm assuming that this is the same meaning as the English part. Dietnam, I believe, is this name. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. I know a tiny, tiny, tiny amount of Swedish. For the fatherland, I assume this is referring to. Anyway, I'm not going to try to keep guessing the lyrics. We'll just keep listening, right? Yeah, I know Reek is king, right? Great solo. Nice. Wonderful harmonies. Nice. Yeah, perfect. Love those soaring leads. Really nice. Again, that's a great bass line that Pear has. Yeah, no clue. Oh, an interesting fade out here. I think those are claps. Or is it supposed to be like soldiers marching? All right. That was a very interesting song. I like that outro. I think possibly the best part of the whole song. It was not what I was expecting, and it was not just like the slow fade out. I thought, oh, okay, they're going to fade out. But they had all the instruments fade out, and they kept the vocals right up there. And it wasn't just Joachim, it was whoever the backing singers were in there, along with, I think that sounded like claps. I think it was people clapping, and it took over from where the snare was, and then it kind of sounded like soldiers marching, or at least that's my my take on it. I don't know. Maybe you guys have a different opinion of it. Yeah, very interesting song, and really encapsulates what was going on back then in the late 17th century. Definitely a rough time to be alive and to earn a living through fighting like that. Hard to imagine. I can see where I know there's been some controversy before about Sabaton glorifying war and people claiming that and everything. I think if you're familiar with their body of work, that's simply not the case. If you didn't know anything about the band and you just saw this song, perhaps someone could, have that as their takeaway. To me, it's kind of a neutral look, or it's just presenting, this was their thought process. This is what motivated them. This is what they were thinking about when they were going through this. So, yeah, thanks very much, and please like and subscribe. Drop me a comment. Is there something else that you would like me to check out? Thanks again. Bye.